How's it going, guys? Anthony here with Gonzalez and Nova Training. Today in this video, I'm just teaching you how to get a better bench press in about 3 minutes. So if you enjoy the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe down below. Check out our website for programs or anything we're offering. Links down in the description. And yeah, make sure to stay tuned because we got a lot more content coming on the way. So hopefully you'll enjoy this video. From the beginning of my lifting career, the lift I was most obsessed with was the bench press. This is mainly because of how cool it was to have a big bench press in high school, but little did I know that it's actually a pretty technical lift, and I was putting myself at a disadvantage for current and future strength gains by performing the lift wrong. So my goal for this video is to teach you guys how to be more technically proficient in the bench press. The first thing I want to go over is how to set up for the bench press. There are 3 main components that make a good setup. The first of these being having scapula or shoulder blade retraction when you lay down on the bench. You can achieve this by imagining you're trying to touch your elbows together behind your back. Once in this position, you're able to reduce the range of motion through having an elevated chest and will likely feel an increase in stability. The next part of the setup is achieving an arch between your upper back and your butt. The arch will decrease your range of motion depending on the size of your arch, and generally it'll put you in a safer position to handle a heavier weight. The last part of the setup is the foot positioning. There are a few different ways you can properly position your feet. One being flat on the floor in front of your knees, another being tucked back as far as possible in order to achieve a greater arch, and the last being my personal favorite, midway between the two in order to utilize the most leg drive, which we'll talk about later. For all of these positions, you'll want to keep your knees pushed outwards while contracting your glutes. The next thing you want to do is find a comfortable position to grip the bar. This is very independent to each person, and personally, I prefer more of a narrow grip, positioning my hands almost an inch inside the ring of the barbell. If you're new to benching, I'd recommend trying out a variation of grips to find out which one you prefer the most. When you've properly gripped the bar, you next will want to unrack the weight, making sure your eyes are even with the barbell when you're under it. Once unracked, you'll want to maintain straight wrists. When you descend down, you'll want to control the speed of the weight and keep your elbows in proper position. Often you'll see newer lifters descend very fast and or have extremely flared elbows, which greatly limits their strength, range of motion, and can cause a lot of shoulder strain. To correct this, lifters will tuck in their elbows at about 45 degrees when descending and make sure the bar doesn't come down faster than they can control. You'll also want to make sure that the bar comes down to about mid-chest area. And during training, pausing is optional. If you're training for a powerlifting meet, then it might be a good idea to incorporate some type of pausing into your training to get comfortable with it. Regardless, if you're doing tap and go or pause, you'll want to drive the bar off your chest with full force, all while maintaining proper elbow positioning, scapular retraction, and leg drive. It should be noted, leg drive is not using your legs to lift your butt off the bench. I had this problem when I was beginning lifting. It's more keeping your glutes contracted and pushing through your feet, all while keeping your butt on the bench in order to help you drive the weight more forcefully. Lastly, when pushing the weight, you want to push it more towards your upper chest and throat area, as opposed to straight up and down or even pushing it away from your head. And once you complete with the set, you can re-rack the weight safely, and you're done.